Hey everybody, Biking Sean here. I wanted to give you a little update on my Strider SnG collection. I got a couple new blades, one that you've seen before, one that hasn't been seen before on my channel, and I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about the SnG and some of the different options and a little bit about the ones that I have. So hope you enjoy the video. Alright everybody, so what we have here today are three SnG models, Strider knives, and basically, you know, I just am really getting into Strider right now. It all started with this concealed carry SnG, and this was my first Strider, my first SnG, really nice, and then basically after that I ended up picking up this Lego version with the stonewash blade, and I just recently got another concealed carry SnG, which is this Ranger Green G10 with the flamed titanium, and this one has the Digicam blade, which is just really sweet. Really like it. So yeah, basically, you know, I think once you get one Strider, then you're destined to probably get another one and another one. You know, that just seems to be the way it goes for a lot of collectors and Strider enthusiasts. So these all have some differences and similarities, and I just kind of thought I'd go through that with you real quick, show you kind of some of the different options. First of all, these all have different blade finishes. This is of course the Tiger Stripe blade, which is probably one of the most synonymous finishes with Strider knives. You can also see this on the Zero Tolerance Strider collaboration, like the 300 series. But basically this is Strider's kind of trademark blade finish, and it's pretty cool. The stonewash finish is awesome. Strider's stonewash is really great. I don't have a Hinderer. I hear that Hinderer has a really nice stonewash finish on their blade. I do have a couple of Chris Reeve, and they have nice stonewash finishes as well. But the one on the Strider is just absolutely perfect, basically. And this is a CPM 154 blade steel, which is a really nice blade steel. And my understanding is that the Strider CPM 154 has just an awesome heat treat, holds an edge for a really long time, which has been my experience. I use this knife probably the most. It's really been my EDC for a couple of months now. And something about the stonewash on the blade makes it really smooth to open and close. So, well, that was a fail. But it just has a really nice smooth action. Really, I don't like flicking open my knives much. I do from time to time, just, you know, playing around. But with the Strider especially, I just kind of like giving it a nice slow open. Just has a really nice fluid feel. And Strider's really been upping their game recently, I think. You know, you can kind of see the differences between these two, with the black Tiger Stripe version being a little bit older. And for example, if you can see the logos here, I think you might be able to. The stonewash, which is kind of hard to see in this light, is just really nicely stamped, really clean, and has the blade steel marking on there, which you probably may not be able to see. And the older version is just kind of a little bit rougher stamp, which is no knock on Strider. You know, honestly, it kind of gives it a little bit of character. But same thing with the Strider stamp on this side. I just think that they have made an effort to just kind of make it look a little bit more finished, which I appreciate. And then finally, this one, I really wanted to try out the Digicam blade finish because I think it's pretty cool. And this is just an awesome version of it. It has a lot of gold in it, which is nice, and goes really nicely with the Ranger Green G10. And I'm really a big fan of the flame titanium finish. I really like it. The other finishes are nice too, like the Stonewash, but really Strider's the only one that has this kind of look, and so I just kind of prefer it on the SnG. One thing that I would notice about this, I think this blade finish is going to hold up really well, because I think it's really layers of finish on here, and I think it gives it a lot of durability. But I did notice on the back of the spine here, if we can focus in on that, it has some light scratches just from pocket carry already. And I haven't really carried this a ton yet, but it's just something that this coating can get scratched, you know, kind of by your jeans and stuff. Alright, so moving on a little bit, just you know, some of the other differences. You know, you've got your Lego version and your concealed carry. The concealed carry is smooth G10, and it's kind of contoured, and it's a little bit thinner, especially the titanium side. And the Lego is just a little bit chunkier, and it has the peel ply texture G10. Actually, I think I prefer the Lego version. It just fills out the hand really well. It doesn't feel clunky at all. It's very ergonomic. And, you know, the concealed carry is really nice too, and I like it, but it does feel a little bit thinner. So, I don't know. It's just kind of personal preference. Obviously, I like them both, but there's something about the Lego that just feels really good in the hand. Let's see, one thing, old versus new lockup. So, the Ranger Green Digicam has the new lockup, and this Tiger Stripe, the black one, has the old lockup. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Basically, the difference is that the blade tang is cut more straight across on the new version, whereas the old version is a little bit more radiused, the way that they cut the lock bar. Also, it's a little bit later on this black version than this new Ranger Green, the lockup. And I think that could be also because the black one is a little bit older knife, so it's probably been used a lot more. I did not get that knife new. But, you know, as far as blade play on the old lockup, it does have a little bit of up and down, just a very little bit. You know, I can't even really, it's not even doing it very much right now, but occasionally I will get a little bit, but it's still rock solid, and this lock is not going to fail at all. And the nice thing about it is it's really not sticky to disengage. It disengages nicely, and it's very smooth. So now the new lockup, it's also really good. It's also very, very solid, and it's not going to fail. But one thing that I've heard about the new lockup is that it can be a little bit stickier. And you can kind of hear that when I disengage it, I think. But this knife also hasn't been broken in, and that's another important thing about Striders. With the tolerances and the way that they're built and overbuilt and really meant to have super strong lockup and that kind of thing, they take a little bit of time to break in. So when you first get a brand new Strider, it might have a little bit of a kind of not as smooth opening and closing, and it might have a little bit of a sticky lock bar. And essentially you just need to open and close it a bunch of times to get it to seat in and to get the lock bar to break in, and it won't be sticky anymore. This Lego version was kind of sticky when I first got it, and just after using it a bunch, it's gotten so smooth, and actually the lock bar is so not sticky and so easy to disengage that it's kind of crazy actually. Now there's still plenty of lock pressure, and it's not going to disengage on its own, but it's not sticky in the least, and it was sticky at first. So I can definitely vouch for that. They just need some time to break in a little bit. Alright, lanyards on the SnG. I do have a lanyard on this one, and I just kind of wanted to try it out. It is nice because this pocket clip can get hung up on your pants a little bit, and that's something that people have pointed out, and people know about the SnG. It's just meant to be secure in your pocket, and Strider knows that it's secure and that it's a little hard to get out of your pocket, and they like it that way because you're not going to lose your knife. And it's fine with me, actually. I mean, you know, it's not that bad. A lanyard can help a little bit with that. But the one thing about lanyards and your SnG and your SMF, the way that the hole is in the frame and the G10 and where the blade sits, you will only be able to use one side, which I put it around the titanium side. And even with doing that, it's going to start fraying this lanyard, which you can see here a little bit. The knife is kind of cutting into the lanyard. And if you put it all the way across through both holes, I mean, it would just be right where the blade comes down, and it would just, you know, cut right through it. So just something to know. Not a huge deal. This has been on here for months, and it's getting a little bit frayed, but it's still secure. And you know, I don't really prefer lanyards on them per se. I'm not going to put one on this. I just kind of want to try it out, basically. The ergonomics of the SnG, I really do like it. I like this grip here, holding kind of back a little bit. You can definitely choke up, and that's super good with that front finger choil. And you know, reverse grip is awesome as well. It's got a really nice little ramp here for your thumb, great jimping, and you could definitely do that. However, you know, this is the way I'm normally going to use it, or choked up here. The cutting performance is great. CPM 154 holds a really nice edge, and I've noticed that with the Lego version. And you know, the flat grind on these is definitely a decent cutter. The one thing that I do kind of get hung up on a little bit is this sharpening choil. You can kind of get material anywhere around here before the sharp edge starts, and you can get a little bit hung up in there if you're not kind of paying attention to what you're doing and you're ripping through a bunch of boxes or something like that. Occasionally stuff will get caught up around here, but that's just something that it's more user error than anything. Finally, just to show you the size comparison, I kind of showed you the size comparison between the Lego and the concealed carry. But I also wanted to bring out a couple of other knives. Here's the Brad Southard flipper. Interestingly, the Lego G10 with the Coyote Brown is basically the same exact color and texture as the Brad Southard flipper from Spyderco, which is really cool, and it's a nice texture. I really like it. But you can see these two knives are about the same overall size, but you do lose a considerable amount of cutting edge with this choil and the sharpening choil here compared to like the Brad Southard. So if we line up the cutting edges, you know, there's a considerable amount of additional cutting edge on the Brad Southard. Here's the Chris Reeve Omnumzon. Again, it's about the same overall length, but the blade is going to be a little bit longer on the Omnumzon as well. And that's just a design feature of the SnG. It just has that choil and the design of the blade. It gives you adequate cutting edge, but this isn't exceptionally large as far as the cutting edge. If you want a larger knife, you would need to go up to the SMF or one of their other knives. I think I've rambled on long enough about these knives. Please leave a comment if you have any other questions or any comments about Strider knives. Love to hear your feedback, and take care, everybody. See you on the next video.